Alright, you sorry shits, listen here. Rift Rumble is on Steam for you to wishlist right now. What's Rift Rumble? Simple answer, really. Rift Rumble is a gravity-bending action platform fighter I have been developing for about 6 months now. But before we really get started, be sure to wishlist Rift Rumble on Steam and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future updates. What exactly is the Rift? I mean, I've mentioned it multiple times before, and it's in the title of the fucking game. So, what is this mysterious rift? The rift is a strange tear in the fabric of space-time, which has appeared in deep space. Because this rift holds the keys to virtually unlimited resources, everyone has traveled to the rift to fight for control. So, how does this look in the game? Well, in-game, the rift is represented mainly through the new rift stages which I've been adding. What's a rift stage, you're asking now? Well, a rift stage is this awesome new type of stage which will hopefully help mix up the gameplay and keep it from getting too repetitive. But, before I can tell you all about the new rift stages I have, I need to explain why I feel that they are needed in my game. What makes a game stand out? How do I make my game interesting? And what is Rift Rumble missing? These are the questions that I have been asking myself for months now, and I think I've finally found my answer. Yes, the planet mode is cool and helps make Rift Rumble unique, but it's not enough. I need more. I need something which makes my game stand out completely. Rift Rumble needs something new, something grand, something fucking awesome. And with that, I want to present to you the latest addition to Rift Rumble, the Rift Stages. As you can probably see, Rift Stages are almost like regular stages, but each Rift Stage has an added gimmick which changes up gameplay and adds to the replayability of my game. So now I had the idea. I knew I wanted to add the Rift Stages. I just didn't quite know what to do with them. So I hopped onto my Trello board and started brainstorming different gimmicks for the Rift Stages. And it didn't take too long before I had a short list of about 20 different ideas for Rift Stages. And with this concept laid out, I wanted to get something into the game, even if it was just a rough concept. So I threw some new background art I had made into Unity and began drafting a simple level. Once this level was made, it was time to make it appear at the right time during the match cycle. To make that happen, I opened up my match cycle script and added a few new lines of code to check if the match counter is one less than the max, and the max returns players to the lobby. Then, if it is indeed one less than that maximum, spawn a random rift stage from a new list of rift stages that I created instead of spawning a normal stage from the normal list of stages. This was a fairly easy addition thanks to the way I set up the match cycling system in the first place. Basically, the way my game handles match cycling is when the game detects that there is only one player left alive, the game will pull up the Game Over UI, and then, while the UI is open, deactivate the current map, look through the map list, and activate a random one from that list. Then finally, the system increments the match counter by 1. This way of handling match cycling makes it incredibly easy to add the Rift Stage cycle, as I already mentioned. All I had to do was catch the game when it updates the match counter to 1 below the max, and then look through a list of Rift Stages to pick the next map instead of the list of normal maps. Then, I just had to copy this new code onto my planet mode system, which differs only slightly from the classic mode, but helps other scripts accommodate the planet gravity. Now that the Rift Stages were properly appearing in the match cycle, it was time to give them some truly unique functionality. First, I created a new script which would hopefully double a player's movement speed while the stage was active. I say hopefully because of course it didn't work on the first try. So, why didn't it work? Well, it didn't work because when I first created the player controllers, I didn't consider the fact that I would ever want to adjust the player's speed outside of the normal adjustments that I make during gameplay. So, of course now, when I tried to use an outside script to double the player's move speed, I got denied by the protections I had put in place to defend against myself. And, as you can probably guess, these redundancies had really fucked me over. This defeat crushed me. What was I to do in the face of such a harrowing foe as myself? There truly wasn't anything I could do anymore. It was over. After all, how could I call myself a game dev if I couldn't even best my own code? I had backed myself into a corner, doomed myself to fail again and again, built the walls of this metaphorical prison around myself. No, I wasn't going to take this defeat lying down. I'm going to fight for this if it's the last thing I ever do. After some work, I figured out a really easy way to get around this issue by updating the player speed every single frame, so that way the lowered speed could never take effect while this particular rift stage is active. Now, of course, I realize this is obviously not the best solution, but you know what? It worked out for me, and that's what matters here. And now that this first rift stage was functional, I messed around a little bit with the stage to perfect the design, and then put it into my game. And that was it, right? I had my rift stage, and the game was now infinitely replayable. Yeah? Wrong! We still have 7 more of these shits to make before I can release this devlog, so let's get going with them. Next, I created a rift stage for the planet mode, which uses a new black hole object I created. The black hole is really just a normal planet that I removed the collider from, so now it sucks players who are close enough towards it, and because there is no floor, players inside of it cannot use grounded attacks. The rift stage I made using a black hole has no floors at all. Every other stage with a black hole has at least one other planet. This means that playing on this stage is more similar to playing in 0G than any other map I have added so far. After that, I created a rift stage where the walls slowly close in. This was actually quite difficult since the way I'm handling match cycling doesn't actually reset the contents of the map because no other map has ever needed to be reset between matches. So I had to create a way to reset the walls back to their default position every time the map appeared. This involved setting up a simple function using the onEnable void that Unity has. I honestly forgot this function existed, and that's mostly why I struggled to reset the walls. The next rift stage I created is probably my personal favorite. It's a planet rift stage where the layout of the map changes every 7 seconds. This gimmick wasn't actually too hard to make since the different layouts are actually just normal planet maps. Right now, there are 3 different layouts that this stage can pick from, but I'm planning to add a few more eventually. Alright, let's work on something else for a bit. You see, currently, each match starts immediately after the endgame screen from the previous match. This means that there is no time to prepare between seeing the winner of the latest game and starting the next game. To fix this, I wanted to add a quick countdown at the start of each match to give players a chance to prepare and orient themselves to the new map. The way I set up the countdown was by adding some code to the game manager script, which handles the normal match structure. The code I added simply made some UI text appear and count down every half second-ish. It's definitely still missing some polish and would look nicer with some sort of animation maybe, but for now, it's good enough. After all that, all I really wanted to do was get back to fucking around with the rift stages, and fuck around I did. A few super lock-in sessions later, and I am now up to 8 rift stages, 4 in the classic mode and 4 in the planet mode. This is awesome because my goal is to have 5 rift stages per game mode in the next demo, which means I'm almost done with this demo. And that's pretty much it. I've kind of run out of script, don't have much left to say, but hopefully the next devlog does not take nearly as long as this one did. Before I go though, please be sure to wishlist Rift Rumble on Steam if any of this sounds at all interesting to you. Farewell, and good luck on all of your future endeavors.